That's my child and my children, and if I want them to walk that distance, then that should be how they get to school.
But one mother says she can't walk her kids to school because the school now forbids it. Good evening and welcome to Channel 4 News at 6. A quarter of a mile is causing a lot of headaches for one mother.
She lives that close to her kids' school. In fact, it takes longer to drive and go through the car line than it does just to walk. But school leaders say those students cannot walk because they're not in the proper zone. Channel 4's McCloy with the story now.
Amy Kenny used to take this route to walk her third graders to and from school.
I want my daughters to be able to walk to school. They walked last year, no problem.
But this year, a new boundary is forcing Kenny to drive the kids and wait in a long car line, even though she lives a quarter mile from the school. Her home is just 1/10 of a mile outside the new designated walking zone for Nanny Berry Elementary School.
This 1/10 of a mile is causing me a lot of headaches, and I didn't want it to get out of control.
But out of her control, it is. The Sumner School District worked with Hendersonville police to map out the walking zone based on distance, sidewalks, and visibility. The walking zone is also designed to keep traffic out of the neighborhoods near the school.
We made the decision based on where we felt comfortable that students could walk safely.
Only children who live inside the walking zone can walk, either alone or with a parent. Any child outside must take the bus or get a ride, and there's no switching around. School officials say last year there was too much confusion when parents changed up their child's transportation method.
That's my child and my children, and if I want them to walk that distance, then that should be how they get to school, period.
When Kenny learned her home was on the edge, she called the school principal to see if they would make an exception. They would not, and neither will the district.
I mean, there has to be a point where the walk zone ends, and we feel like if we make an exception for one, then there's others that are going to want an exception.
But Kenny says she feels the school should make exceptions, especially if parents are willing to walk with their children from outside the boundary. Right now, it takes Kenny about 20 minutes to pick up her kids. It takes about 8 to walk.
I mean, even our governor has a healthy kids program that they want kids to be out active, walking to school when possible, and my children aren't being allowed that benefit.
In Hendersonville, Ann McCloy, Channel 4 News.
Now, school officials say they strongly discourage parents changing their child's specified transportation method, but if they do, they will release the child after dismissal.